Baby had something coming out of his face, and when the doctor pulled it out, he found. A 7-month-old girl was taken to hospital Saturday by concerned parents after an area just below her jaw swelled up to the size of 1.5 golf balls with a pimple on top. After initially diagnosing an infection, doctors were shocked when they discovered a 2-inch-long black feather had got lodged underneath Mia Whittington's skin. Aaron and Emma Whittington first took their nearly 7-month-old daughter to Hutchinson Regional Medical Center, Kansas on Saturday after the area below her jaw swelled up. They thought it was a swollen gland, Aaron Whittington said. The hospital administered an antibiotic and sent the family home. Mia's grandmother took her back to the hospital after a pimple appeared on the swollen area, which had now grown to the size of about 1.5 golf balls, Aaron Whittington said. She looked like Quasimodo, her father said. The physician suspected a staph infection on her lymph nodes. A doctor broke the pimple to try to drain it and drew marks on her face to measure whether the swelling increased. The intravenous antibiotics were continued. On Monday, the doctor on rounds scraped off a scab that formed. After the doctor left, the Whittingtons noted what appeared to be a stick or string emerging from the spot. They left it alone since the doctor hadn't done anything to it, Aaron said. When Mia's pediatrician visited later that evening, however, she asked what it was. She then put on a pair of gloves and plucked a 2-inch-long black feather from the swollen area of the child's neck. They suspect, Whittington said, that the baby swallowed or inhaled the feather, which apparently pierced the inside of her cheek or throat, and then over time, her body forced it out the other way. The Whittingtons had a down pillow on their bed, but Mia wasn't normally on it, and it's been in the couple's laundry room for months, Emma Whittington said. Her ordeal isn't over yet, however. The swollen area has a hard knot on it, about 4 centimeters in size. If the knot doesn't break up on its own, Mia's headed for surgery in Wichita to remove it. Doctors believe that Mia Whittington swallowed the feather months before and it got stuck in her throat. Her body was trying to get rid of the feather by pushing it out. It just started to reject it and forced it out, Father Aaron explained to KWCH. Doctors believe that Mia Whittington must have been in pain for quite some time, but her parents said she never cried until the nurses started poking her. They're just relieved the whole health scare is over. Babies put stuff in their mouth and we got it out, Emma said to KWCH, laughing. It's headed for the trash. She's been pulling on the left side of her face for a couple of months, Emma said, but she suspected it was teething or an ear infection. In her 20 years in the pediatric floor at the hospital, RN Sandra Mathis had never seen anything like it, though she recalls a child coming in once with hairbrush bristles stuck in his tonsils that had to be removed from chewing on a brush. The Whittingtons' doctor indicated the swelling had to be causing an immense amount of pain, Emma said, but Mia only cried when nurses poked her. The parents now remember Mia crying and pulling at the area under her left ear over the past few weeks, but they thought she might be getting an ear infection or teething. We've been extremely surprised, Aaron said. We've gotten stories in Kenya, India, and the UK. It's really crazy. Another shocking case. As anyone with young kids can attest to, they're constantly grabbing for anything to put in their mouths. This is a story about a common household item that a baby quickly ingested and the truly bizarre way it came out. Baby Charlotte had everyone stumped. A lump below her ear was growing and growing. It was scanned and biopsied, but doctors had no idea what was going on. It was really scary, said her mom, Ashley Berry. Then one day, Ashley says Charlotte's wound snagged on her clothing. When Ashley investigated, it poked her finger. There was something hanging onto her skin, Ashley said. When I pulled what looked like pus, something about 2 inches long came with it. With doctors having guessed the lump may be to some sort of fungal infection, Ashley says she worried it was some sort of plant growing in her neck. The thing she pulled out resembled a bean sprout. It wasn't a plant, it was a feather and not just one. We've pulled 4 since then, she said. This baby human's molting like a bird. Doctors performed surgery and removed another clump of about 10 feathers, Ashley says. As for how the feathers ended up in Charlotte's neck, doctors suspect she ate them. The pokey end got lodged in her throat and her body eventually worked them out through the skin like your body would a splinter. It was shedding so many feathers I couldn't keep up, Ashley said. I was vacuuming multiple times a day or grabbing handfuls and throwing them in the garbage. The problem was so bad, the couple says they exchanged their first couch to the store where they bought it, Down East Home and Clothing, but the replacement couch had the same issue. They returned that couch for a refund. Hopefully, they're talking to the manufacturer of the couch and they're fixing the problem, Chris said. As for Ashley and Chris, they say they're sharing Charlotte's story in the hopes that other parents learn from their terrifying experience. Our daughter had to go through surgery and multiple hospital visits, Chris said. I wouldn't want anybody else to have to go through what she's gone through, Ashley commented after.